Okay, taking the Bridge 8 arrival in Tampa, Florida as an example, let's take a look at the plate. On the top right corner, you have all the frequencies that you need. Then you have the plan view. Plan view is nothing but the top view of the procedure. In the plan view, what I do is I usually find out the airports that it serves. Every arrival procedure might have multiple runways, multiple airports that it serves. So in this case, in the top left side of the plan view, you see that there are multiple airports: the Tampa Executive, Peter O'Knight, Tampa International, MacDill Air Force Base, Clearwater Air Park, St. Pete Clearwater International, etc. These are the airports that the star serves. Basically, any airplane wanting to come to these airports can use this star. Then find out the fix at which this particular arrival begins, which is bridge. Usually the name is from where the arrival starts. So bridge intersection is right there in the center, and you see that from bridge you go northwest to reach the terminal area. Now you have other fixes on the plan view. You also have some notes below bridge, which we'll come back to once we are done reading the arrival route description. Coming to the arrival route description, you have label transition LBV.bridge8 from over LBV VOTAC on LBV radial 312 and pi radial 138 to bridge intersection thence. So where is LBV? There. So from the LBV VOR you go VOTAC, you go 312. The 312 is magnetic course. Along the 312 you also see 2000. 2000 is the minimum en route altitude. You should not fly this transition below 2000. Then you have 37 in bracket or in parenthesis below 312, which shows you the distance between label and Rogan, the next fix. So first you fly the radial 312 from label, then you reach Rogan, then intercept 138 radial from pi VOTAC to bridge intersection. Then look at the notes below. If you are going to KTPA, runway 19 left right from over bridge intersection on pi radial 138 to J stream intersection. Depart J stream intersection heading 360 for vectors to final approach course. So these are the notes for landing in Tampa. Then for any other airports, which is KPI, KCLW, KTPF, KSPG, KMCF, KVDF. From over bridge intersection on pi radial 138, so from bridge radial 138 to pi VOTAC, expect radar vectors to final approach course / airport after bridge intersection. Okay, so you can just expect radar vectors to final approach course for your instrument approaches after bridge intersection. Then lost communications standard. Standard lost communication is basically you are following 91-185 of the regulations. Sometimes the lost comm procedures might be non-standard and they would require you to do specific things. Then you would have those in the notes here. So this is how you read the arrival route description. Not that hard, it's just describing your route. Sometimes you have to be careful that for different airports there will be different instructions. So make sure you read those. Depending on your transition and the airport of landing, your route will change. Now let's take a look at those notes that we left below bridge. There is turbojet vertical navigation planning information, which is what we cover in the next video itself. Vertical navigation planning information helps turbojets and other high performance aircrafts to descend in a planned manner. What is that? KTPA landing south, expect 11,000. When 11,000 has a line underneath and above it, it means that expect 11,000 exactly. If it had a line just below it, it would mean that expect at or above 11,000. If it had a line above 11,000, then it would mean expect at or below 11,000. KTPA landing north, expect 11,000, which is the altitude, and 250K means 250 knots of airspeed, indicated airspeed restriction when you're flying the bridge at arrival, and Tampa is landing north, meaning the north facing runways in Tampa are being used. Tampa landing south means the south facing runways being used. That's pretty much it, and you know how to file it, just like a SID. If you want to just fly the primary arrival, you would file bridge.bridge8 in your flight plan. This comes right after your route, not in your destination. Just after you have put in all the route information or the fixes and vector ways, the last thing you put in the route description is the arrival. The departure, you put the first in the route description. If you want to fly any transition, you use the transition computer code. For example, Labil transition, the computer code will be LBV.bridge8, and then you would receive a clearance for the particular star that you requested. One thing is very important when you are performing an arrival, especially into busy airspaces, make sure you have a current plate and you have read the star before even starting your descent.